So I'm working on replacing the clutch in my Discovery 1 200 TDI. So this is an LT77 transmission, and there's the shifter and a transfer case. So what I'm working on today is right here, if you see on here this bias plate and the shifter. Okay, so right now when you're in the truck, the shifter points to the left. It's always pointing to the left-hand side. So what I noticed was this bias plate's actually bent, pushing this way. So if you look here, it pushes it, you push to the right to get your gears, but first and second are just resting right against the spring right here. So it doesn't actually go anywhere besides real hard to the right. But then I noticed that this spring is bigger than this spring, which I don't know why they did that, why Land Rover did that, but that's just the way that it is. Doesn't make any sense to me, but this heavier spring pushed this plate over. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this plate off, and we'll see how cracked it is and broken, and we'll try to fix it. All right, so what we got is 4 13mm bolts here. So we're going to start taking these off. I have a feeling these springs are going to want to pop or do something weird. Yeah. It's squished sideways. Holy moly. That spring's... Whoa! It just went flying. There's that. The bolt went flying somewhere. I'm not sure where it went. I'll have to go and find that. There, that one's coming out. Safely, kind of. We'll see here. That one's gonna pop too. There we go. There, that wasn't so violent as the other one was. I don't know where that bolt went to. You gotta take these next ones out.
There's a lot of grease in there, so I don't think this has ever been changed or anything, and it's really clean inside there.
So it looks like you need to move this, your reverse lockout here, up and out of the way. Oh, there we go. Just this one bolt. I'm sure you guys down in the comments are probably going to say, hey, of course that comes off. Come on. Okay, so we got the reverse lockout taken off. Lay that to the side here. This bolt here doesn't have to come loose. Does not have to. Oh. Okay, so now we can take the plate off. Let's take a look. Oh, there it is. See that right away there already. Let me get a rag. Wipe that off. There's our problem right there. Whoop. See, it's cracked along here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to push it back, and we'll put a weld across there and see if we can fix it without buying a new one. Which these are really inexpensive, but if it broke once, it's going to break again, and a weld is stronger than the plate. So I'm going to clean this up and pull the welder out, and I'll be back. So we're over at the workbench here, and you can see, if I hold it straight to the camera, see how it's bent over to the side? This needs to be 90 degrees or perpendicular to it. And you can see here that it's cracked right along the bottom here. So we need to somehow come up with this to get this straighter, and then I have a feeling I'm just going to run a little weld through here. So let's take a look-see and see what we can get done here. Looks like we're vertical again. Let's take a square. Yeah, we're pretty much right at 90 degrees there. So we're bent back, but let's get the welder out and we can fix up this crack here. What I ended up doing is cutting the whole way through so I can get a good weld to fill in that whole space right there that's inside there. So let's get the welder together. Okay, so I got in there and I did a lot of welds inside here and along the side and the back side here. And we're still at 90 degrees right here, but this sucker ain't moving nowhere now. So it is completely tight and will not to bend. I could bend it before by hand, this plate or whatever, but with this weld, it's going to make it a lot stronger. So I'm going to clean up this weld on the bottom because it has to lay flat. I'm going to hit it with a little bit of rust prevention paint or whatever, or some type of rust inverter, and some paint on this and throw it back on. So that's what I'm going to do next, and I'll be right back. Alright, so you got the plate and it's all cleaned up. We'll see how good this goes together here. With getting these springs on here, we'll see how it goes. I have a feeling it's not going to be so easy. We'll first put down these two bolts here. Well, I can see already that the plate here, the bias plate, is already straight right with the middle where the shifter is. Gonna snug these two bolts down, and let's see, so take the bolt and nut, go through here. Okay, so that one didn't go on too bad. Okay, that's on there. The next one, I think I'm going to put this on. Start it up a little bit here. Oh, this one here. Make sure that those are down below, down here, underneath this hook, this circle here. And also when you take this plate off, underneath there's like a plastic ring. Watch that doesn't pop out and fall out. Put that back in there. Okay. So this is the heavy duty one on this side. Nope, I'm going to take that bolt out. Doesn't look like that's going to work. Yeah, if I raise this up high, maybe.
A few moments later.
There you go. So that's now in there. That was a major pain in the butt. So now we're in the center. It sits in the center now. So that's good. Let's get this piece back on there now. The reverse light plunger. Okay, so the key to get this spring on here, what I found is take it over, put it in reverse, because this is LT77, so for reverse is over this way. R380s, the reverse is on this side. So over here, you put it in reverse, then have this spring sit up above and push on the gear shift over to the side. And then once you get that bolt started, you might have saw me prying it up over and pushing it down into the hole. So that got into there. So then once you have this tightened down, then you can take your screwdriver and pop that up over onto this edge of the bias plate right here. See? Pretty, it's not too bad of a job. You could do it with the transmission in, it wouldn't be too hard to do. But just fixing this plate is what's the important thing, is so it doesn't move around and wiggle. So, it's a fun little project. I know this piece here is probably about 10 bucks or whatever, the bias plate, but I know this one now is not going to break, again, because of all that weld. So I think we're going to be pretty good here with this. And don't forget to put grease on everything and to finish it up. And also, you got your cover, the cover piece that goes back on there. Make sure you clean all this and make it nice and greasy inside there. So that's it. So hopefully this finds it helpful to somebody that maybe has a shifter that goes wacky like that. So thank you very much. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye. One last tip. What I did was, whenever you would push up, when it's resting in place, you want it to go straight in the third and then straight in the fourth. So what I did is I loosened all four bolts and shifted the plate around so that this spring here rests exactly against here while it was in third gear. So now it lines up and it's perfect. See, it's just sitting there. You wiggle it and we're always in. Push straight up, go straight in the third, come back, straight in the fourth. And then one other thing that I noticed is this plate here, this piece, whenever I was working it and bending it and getting it into shape and welding it, it actually pushed forward this way. So when I came back into fourth, it actually was touching this. Second and fourth were touching the bias plate. So all I did was took some pliers, it just bent it back a little bit. So now watch when it goes in the fourth. There's a little gap in between there, so it's not touching it whenever it's touching the bias plate. And it seems to work perfect. So another little added tip. You may need to adjust this a little bit whenever you finally put one in. Okay, bye-bye.